Hello Hashima, this video is for Wednesday, May 20th. Today we're going to be doing lesson 130, creating coordinate pairs from rules. So yesterday we talked about, hold on, I'm trying to get there I am. Yesterday we talked about how to use rules to plot points on the coordinate graph. So we're going to do that today again, but this time it's going to just be thinking about the relationship between X and Y and coming up with the rules ourselves rather than being given the rule, and then vice versa. So coming up with the rule or finding the rule. So fact number one, a rule describes the relationship between the X and Y coordinates, so how they're related. So you may ask yourself, how do I get from this to this? How do I get from this to this? And that helps you understand the rule, the thing that you always have to do no matter what the X coordinate is. Fact number two, using the rule, we can identify coordinate pairs and plot them on the coordinate plane. So once you figured out the rule, you can literally plug in anything for X and then figure out what Y would be. So think of it like a cause and effect relationship. Whatever happens to X is going to affect Y. So if you're going to have to multiply, whatever you choose for X is going to change the value of Y no matter what. All right, so let me get out of the full screen mode so I can do this for you. So basically, today we're going to be creating coordinate pairs from a rule and then plotting them on the coordinate plane. So if the rule is Y is 1 more than X, we can turn that into an equation that's Y equals X plus 1. So think of Y as 1 more than X, Y equals X plus 1. So whatever X is, 1 more than that is going to equal Y. So then you can choose any number for what you put in the chart. So I'm going to just start with 0 because that's the easiest one. So if X is 0, Y is always going to be 1 more than that. Y is going to be 1. So I'm putting it down here. X is 0, Y is 1. Then if X is 1, then Y is going to be 2. So over 1, up 2. Now if X is, let's say, 5, then Y would be 1 more than that. So that's 6. So over 5, up 6. Now, I could have chosen X to be 2, and if X was 2, Y would be 3. If X was 3, Y would be 4. And if you notice, when I drag the line onto it, notice that this line goes through all those coordinates. So 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, and on and on and on and on. So it can continue. That's why we have an arrow at the end. It can go on forever. So that's example A. Example B is the exact same thing, except this time we have a different rule. This time the rule is Y is 2 times X. So whatever X is, we're going to multiply it by 2 to get Y. So I turn that into Y equals 2X. Remember, when you have variables like X and Y, you don't need to use the multiplication symbol. You can just glue the number, the factor, directly to the variable, which in this case is X. So 2X is the same as 2 times X. Do not forget that. So if X is 1, and again, I just chose that number because it's easy for me. If X is 1, then Y has to be 2 because the rule is times 2, 2X. If X is 2, Y has to be 4 because 2 times 2 is 4. If X is 3, Y has to be 6 because 2 times 3 is 6. If you choose to do X is equal to 4, then the Y coordinate would be 8, 4, 8. And if you put the line in the right spot through all 3 points, notice that if you go to 4, yep, 4, 8 is a coordinate on this line. So making sure you're plugging in X and Y, coming up with the correct relationship, and then plotting it on the coordinate grid. So you're going to go through, are you ready? And then 2 problems for work it out. They are a little bit complicated. And then I'm also asking you to come up with 2 other points that could be on these lines. So make sure that you are careful. I'm going to just warn you that work it out has a 2-step rule. So you multiply by 3 and add 1. So I gave you an example here. So just be careful that you do it correctly. All right, we'll talk about this on Zoom, and I hope you all have a great day.